what I've certainly been able to articulate in the last couple of years is the ego and the self. Like, is there's two things going on in your body, like, and your thoughts. So they're just not even they're not a thing. They're not real. They're just thoughts. So to illustrate that, it's like if you have a happy thought, energy moves in your body. Because it's a happy thought, you accept the thought, and it feels good. So you don't stay happy. Like, you don't stay like up for that. Like, eventually, the energy dissipates, and you go back to base level, or whatever, or normal, whatever it might be. But if you have a negative thought, it's still just a thought. But because it's a negative thought, our primal brain kicks in, and we're programmed to fix whatever the problem is. So we will try, and we'll keep, like, when you're a kid, if someone says, don't touch that stove, it's hot, you touch it once, you get burned, you don't touch it again. But if that thought is a stove, and you keep touching that thought, you keep getting mentally burned, and you keep doing it. And that's where anxiety, for me, spiraled. Like, you get into that, and you keep touching the thought, so the energy stays in your body longer, and it becomes very, very tense. You can't sleep, all the effects of anxiety. And it was only that when my therapist told me that, and made me realize, at least, was that the anxiety is not it's a symptom. There's whatever the emotion is behind the anxiety is the thing that's there. So you can witness, and so things like meditation allows you to take a step back from yourself inside. You take a step back from yourself on your ego, and you can then, like, witness what's going on. Even though the energy, the moving, is still uncomfortable, it's never going to disappear, because we're humans and that's the way it is. But you can be witness to it and choose to act rather than react. That's the difference, and that's the thing with the link between that and kickboxing is initially you react because you got punched, and your primal brain goes punch, run, do whatever, and then once you've made that connection that you can actually separate the two things, then you become better at kickboxing, and you become life becomes better. Yeah.
It's a good metaphor.
It's like, but it's this whole, all of these pieces of the puzzle have been through threads in my life, and I just hadn't realised what they were, and they've crossed over at some points, and your realisations, and in the line of work that I do in day to day, which is like, as you mentioned, innovation consultant, which is all about, in a way, going into businesses and helping them get the confidence to try new things, really, and what that involves in the company that I work for at this point in time, Flux, we drop that in. Sorry. We promote, like, experimentation, so trying something. But the thing with trying something new is you don't know, you're going into the unknown, and naturally the unknown is scary, and so you have anxiety comes up, or emotion starts to move, and so the idea is, like, what's the smallest baby step you can take that pushes you enough, but not too far, so you do it and you go, okay, and so your confidence, as I use the analogy of a tree, so your confidence grows like the rings of a tree. You just take a little baby step, and then your comfort zone's a little bit bigger, and then your comfort's another step, a bit bigger, and before you know it, a bit cheesy, but you've got a solid oak tree that's there. And it's the same for me with anxiety. It's like, and that's partly where Plight Club comes in. It's like you feel that resistance when you go to talk. If you want to talk to someone that you don't know particularly, or talk to someone you do know about feelings or whatever it is, there's that little bit of resistance in your body. Like the energy starts to flow, and it's really uncomfortable, and it's a fear basically. And then if you can take micro little steps to do that, your comfort zone gets bigger, and it just gets easier to talk to people. It gets easier to do stuff, but it's really hard. That tiny step is actually a chasm. Like, it's really hard to make, particularly the first step is hard. And so that's what Plight Club is about, really. It's rebelling against your own vulnerability, and and just going, and just taking that step, even though it feels uncomfortable, because the joy and the energy and the hit of dopamine, or whatever you want to call it, brings, is just absolutely fucking magical when you start doing it, and that is addictive. But it's addictive in a really positive way. And it's like, so at the moment, like, if I feel a bit like whatever, I'm not feeling in the best mood, if I push myself, because I don't feel like talking to someone maybe, but I do, then make it even a lift, or just say hello, how's your day, whatever, like that little tiny thing, I can feel the energy moving. It's just beautiful. It's amazing. And you walk out the lift feeling better. And I've had a comic chat with you, and they probably, or you don't know, but they probably feel better. And it's like, but you're just standing there probably, and normally it's like, oh, they probably don't want to talk to me. They probably don't. And then your ego kicks in, and inner chatter, and it's like, 9 times out of 10, people are very willing to, if you say, how was your day? They will tell you how their day was, and because then someone's interested in me. It's great, and you have a lovely conversation. And I've built over the last 6 months to a year loads of little relationships just by and then the energy flows, and it's fucking lovely. It's like that's what this is about. We need to do more of it.